I'm here with Clay Lacy, and can you tell me a little bit about the plane behind us?
Well, this airplane is an F7F Tigercat, it's called. It was built by the Grumman Airplane Company, and it was the last propeller fighter airplane built in the United States. And it was designed by a good friend of mine, Gordon Israel. He was a wonderful airplane designer. He designed a lot of airplanes, had a lot to do with the Learjet even. But anyway, they designed this in the mid 40s. And they built it to be a fast climbing airplane and possibly be able to intercept some of the kamikaze planes that was showing up out in the Pacific. But by the time it was completed, the war was over, and it did not see combat in World War II. And it was built for the Navy, but the Navy, they ran carrier tests, and they passed it okay, but I hear they were a little concerned about that long nose gear maybe not being strong enough for an aircraft carrier. So the war was over, and they gave them to the Marines. They built about 480, I understand, and they did see combat in Korea. They flew them at night and intercepted some airplanes that the North Koreans had that they were flying at night. I've never heard of it actually shooting down an enemy airplane, but it's a great airplane. The engines are 2,200 horsepower each,
Wow.
So 4,400 horsepower, and the airplane weighs about 16,000 pounds. I mean, the initial rate of climb performance is like a Learjet, so it's really fun to fly. Well, this is a DC-3, Douglas DC-3. The first one came out in 1936 and was the first airplane that the airlines could really make money with, not in this configuration, but with 21 first-class passengers. It was also the first airplane to ever offer coast-to-coast, from east to west, between sunset and sunrise, 15 hours, but 12 hours. They could leave New Jersey, Newark, New Jersey, and at 8 in the evening, land in Los Angeles 8 in the morning, either Los Angeles or San Francisco. There's been almost 15,000 of these built, including for the military. Most of them went to the military. Probably only 2,000 were really built for the airlines. But this airplane made the airlines, and everyone was flying them by the end of the war, World War II, and they continued flying them after the war. Now, this one is in the corporate configuration, the executive configuration, for 14 seats. It's also in United Airline colors. I was a pilot for United, and this is the paint job they had on the airplanes in the 1950s before they retired these. W.A. Patterson, who was the chairman of United, had an airplane, one of these, fixed up in a corporate configuration. He named it Mainliner O'Connor after Mary O'Connor, one of the early flight attendants. And in those days, when the girls had to retire at 31, Mary kept working in the office and flying on this airplane. And they used to rent it to celebrities for tours and things, Hollywood people, and Mary O'Connor would fly with it. And this particular airplane, though, never was in airline service. It was there was only 28 DC-3 C-47s built after this one. This one was delivered to the Army Air Corps in October 45 after the war ended. A month later, they surplused it, and it was sold and turned into a corporate airplane, which has been ever since. About 8 years ago, I redid this entire interior, cabinets, seats, and put it in the condition it's in now. And it is, I have the Mainliner O'Connor on it, just like the one United Airlines had. And this is a comfortable airplane. You know, it's very quiet here in the back, has a lot of room in it. And it was the airplane, DC-3, that really got corporate aviation going. Because after World War II, you could buy one of these things surplus, almost brand new, for $30,000. And for $100,000, you could put it into corporate configuration. So for $130,000, Ford Motor Company had them, Chrysler, General Motors. This was the airplane for corporate America until the Gulfstream 1 came along, which would go about 100 miles an hour faster and was pressurized. So the DC-3 was a very, very important part of aviation history. And it only cruised 3 miles a minute, 180 miles an hour. But every time I'm going to fly this thing any distance, I think, oh man, I want to go 3 hours, take 3 hours to go where we're going. Then I have a globe in my office. I look at that globe and I realize there's not a single place on this earth that there hasn't been a DC-3, South Pole, North Pole, all over.